and welcome back to part 2 of our interview / mini campaign with the illustrious Jonny Atma of God Metal fame. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
And of course, we're joined by Amir E. Peach.
I will punch it.
That is a guarantee. It's a guarantee to this episode.
I will punch it.
And of course, the fabulous and oh so magnanimous Mark Smee. How you doing, man?
Oh, thank you. I'm doing great. I feel like I'm starting to find my character in this now, which is an idiot.
Just the idiot hanging out with the psychopaths.
Yeah, I think that might be the dynamic, but we're discovering Bark Flea along with everybody else.
Last time on Misadventurous, Lucian pounded the fuck out of an old woman, and not in the sexual way because she died. Raven, the Shade, threw his sword at a gnome guy, and when he missed, threw a magic missile at him because he was kind of mad at him. It killed the old man, and so they looted the store of a father and business owner. Mark hid a magical parakeet inside of his jacket, and now they are headed down the road to see what adventure awaits. You may now commence playing with one another as you travel.
Now, see, Bark, you have this face down the whole way that says I shouldn't have killed that old lady, but she was totally going to try and kill us.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've been very naive about the world, Lucian, and maybe I am falling romantically in love with you secretly.
You know,
to be fair, I'm the DM. I shipped it.
And you know, Barkley, as much as I love you, it could never be.
The parakeet inside your jacket, Mark, rustles a little bit as you guys are talking.
Sorry, I was just scratching my arm.
Is that how you're covering it up?
Yeah, with my amazing bluff skills.
Of course. I won't make you roll bluff against your friends, so unless they feel that they logically would need to figure out if you're lying, it's not going to be a problem. As you guys continue down the road, eventually you reach a crossroads. To the left, you can see that what was the yellow brick pathway quickly becomes gravel and then muddy dirt road that heads to a swamp. However, the main sign, which follows the yellow brick road that you're on, says it leads to Rodania, the place that you were originally heading. What do you do?
I'm going to whip out my map, and I'm going to see if there's anywhere this other road lies on the map.
The other road, according to your map, leads to the Ruby Swamps.
The Ruby Swamp?
Is there anything on the map? It's just the Ruby Swamp. There's no,
There's the Ruby Swamp to the west, and of course there's Rodania to the north, which still looks like this weird mound of stuff with eyeballs.
So, Ruby Swamp, Rodania, Ruby Swamp, Rodania. Yeah.
Should we have a little detour to the swamp? I think it'd be a shame if we're all the way out here and then, what if we got to Rodania and everyone was just, going on about the Ruby Swamp? And we're like, we just walked right past it. I feel like an idiot.
I can't make the decision for you, but I can tell you that you can hear some music emanating from the swamp to the west. And to the north, which you know is where Rodania is, you can actually barely make out on the horizon line some looming giant shape that's over there. But from the swamp, you can hear... What will you do?
I'm going to start heading down towards the swamp. Let's go Ruby Swamp time.
Let's roll.
All right, Johnny, you going to follow them?
Of course.
As you follow them, the music begins to get a little bit louder and a little bit louder until eventually you see a interesting-looking fellow sitting on a stump with his feet propped up against a tree. He is playing a kind of lute that is circular and makes weird twangy sounds as he plucks it. He doesn't acknowledge you when you approach.
I won't acknowledge him.
He seems to be tuning his instrument. Everybody's just going to keep walking past him?
I'm going to keep walking past him.
I'm going to say hey to him. Hey.
You say hey. He looks up, tipping his large straw hat. You can see he appears human. Howdy.
I like your loot.
He goes, thanks, stranger.
You're welcome.
He says in a somewhat dismissive way, then goes back to tooting his banjo. You headed for the swamp?
Yep.
Looks like it.
Damn fools.
I'm going to punch him.
What, could we not? I know I'm the dungeon master. I was supposed to just facilitate the world, but could we fucking not?
Fine.
You know what? It's fine. You can do that if you want.
No, I'm not going to punch.
I really will not stop you.
I'm not going to punch.
You're not going to punch?
No.
Fine. Well, stranger, I reckon I need to ask you a question.
Go on.
He looks at you and he says, as his eyes suddenly go bug and his jaw goes slack, what's the hardest cover you've ever had to do, and what was the easiest?
There's two ways you can look at that. The first would be the hardest to play, and the second would be the hardest to arrange, I guess. The hardest to play is probably Big Bad Baby Bowser.
Big Bad Baby. Oh, that's one of my favorite songs that you've done.
Real pain in the ass to play guitar, and I hardly remember it, to be honest. The hardest to arrange was probably the Sonic fan medley, because I was only familiar with maybe 3 of the songs.
Shit.
I remember when I did the random picker thing, all those songs popped up. I was like, oh my god, I don't know any of these.
So you had to learn them from the ground up?
None of these. So I had to familiarize myself with all these songs I didn't know. The easiest,
I love how he's having trouble with which one was the easiest. It's like, I'm so talented. They're all pissy. I mean, what kind of question is that?
If you look through a lot of my older stuff, it's really kind of simple.
Really?
Like the arrangement is, and like stuff like Koopa's Road.
Yeah.
That's really easy to play. And I did that in like 3 hours. So it's probably going to be that one.
You've done some alternative versions of your stuff before. I know, because you sent me, like, one time you sent me on your Koopa Road, you let me see like an all-base version.
Yeah.
That I don't think anybody knows that you, like, play around with your stuff that
Yeah,
much.
I do. But I do plan on redoing that one someday. But
Is there, like, secretly a polka version of, like, one of the Sonic songs somewhere that nobody's seen?
Not yet. Not yet.
And when the guy comes to, he goes, what the hell just happened?
I don't know. You were talking some nonsense.
Sorry about that.
What's your name there, sir?
Me?
Yeah.
That'd be Matt, sir. That'd be Matt Lucmas. Pardon me, Luke, L-U-C, Christmas. This motherfucker. This person was being fucking cute and put Christmas in their name. His name's Matt Lucas. He put Matt, L-U-C, Christmas.
I see.
Fucking cheek. All right.
I think it's clever.
It is clever, and that's why I don't like it, because he's fucking smart.
Hey, Mr. Luke Christmas. What is beyond this swamp?
Beyond the swamp. Let's see, that would be the wastes. You don't want to go there. Hell, you don't want to go in the swamp.
Why not?
Well, you don't want to go in the swamp on account of, my relatives. They're not a nice bunch. That's why I live out here. He motions toward a little shack that he has built on the edge of the swamp. I'm pretty much the guy who warns people to not go in there because of my relatives.
Are your relatives like evil or what?
Oh, they're not really so much evil, like cannibalistic.
Oh, they're a bit evil. That sounds great. Mate, this is our chance to like do some good stuff. We can like have a big fight, which we will enjoy, but like it will be against like properly bad guys. I'm not like a gnome father guy.
Now, once again, I open up the fact that I don't really consider my relatives evil. It's just...
Oh, proper evil bastards.
Hang on, now. There's no need to get all confrontational. It's just sometimes they eat a little bit of people. I'm just saying. They're not bad folks. They're just that sometimes they eat a little bit of people.
I only punch people who I consider a threat directly to me.
Me too.
You were going to punch this guy when he said hello to you. Don't give me that shit. Okay, so what do the three of you decide to do? Are you going to enter the swamp full of supposed morally gray cannibals, or will you head back and go towards Rodunia?
I made the decision the last time, so yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna look at my two friends and say we're going in that goddamn swamp.
Apparently, we're going in that goddamn swamp.
Mark, what's your input? Oh, he's down. Everybody's apparently down.
All right, then.
And so you are off to the races. I mean the swamp. So the three of you ignore the guy and just start heading toward the swamp after your friend declares we are going to that goddamn swamp. And you hear the guy behind you like, please don't hit my family. They just want to eat you a little bit. Just like a little bit.
As long
Don't
as they don't
spoil
hit
it, mate.
me,
I've made up
we're
a
cool.
story in my head of we are heroes now.
All right, take care now, strangers. Dead, stupid fools. As he continues playing his strange banjo lute. Now, the three of you have made your way into the Ruby Swamps. You can tell why this place is called the Ruby Swamps as soon as you enter, because as the light filters down through the bright crimson red leaves, everything around you is bathed in a thick auburn red glow, almost as if you were in a dark room.
This place is kind of pretty.
You can hear all around you the sounds of life, croaking of frogs, the ticking of crickets, with the path becoming a little bit windy and confusing. As you continue going, you can definitely tell, Mark, because of your high levels of perception, that someone is following you guys.
Can I pinpoint the location?
Yes, by rolling perception.
Woo! Right. Here we go. I rolled a 1.
What's that total?
No, 1 on the dice, so perception will be 13 total.
With a 13 total, you cannot pinpoint the exact location of whoever is following you. What you can tell, however, is that they are extremely good at stealth.
Raven, there's someone following us. I can't seem to pinpoint their location, but they're very stealthy, which I gather that is your forte.
I'll go check it out. I'm gonna turn into a shadow and I'm gonna look around.
With a wave of your magic, you manage to morph yourself into a shadow, disappearing into the undersides of the glades and the dens. As you shift around through the place, you roll stealth to try and get the drop on the person following you. Mitchell, what are you going to do?
Total defense.
Mitchell, fight hadn't even gotten started. And you're just like, put up my dukes.
I'm assuming one of them's about to happen.
What did you roll, Johnny?
7.
Jesus. Again. You roll a 7, and plus your stealth, which is actually retardedly high, you got a 20 total. You managed to exceed the stealth score of the person that was following you. You can now get a more clear picture of what's going on and can tell that the person that's following you guys is currently submerged in the water, which you were not able to enter because it's full of that red light. You can't see them, but you know where they are because you know where they would be hiding.
What kind of attack can I use on the water?
If you get in melee range of on the water itself, You could cast a spell on the area itself and see what happens. You could cast it on a tree and try to get it to drop into the water. You could try to find them by rolling perception and then attack them specifically.
I'm gonna try to find him.
All right, roll perception. In the meanwhile, Mitchell, while you are back, readying your stance, you can definitely see someone who is not sneaking at all, lumbering towards you guys in the distance.
How big is it?
A large class creature.
I see.
For those of you at home, a large class creature occupies 4 squares of space by itself, whereas our heroes only occupy 1. All right, Johnny, you roll perception. What'd you get?
16.
You're able to look through the shadows, and you tell at the bottom of the water, you see a reptilian-looking creature shifting around in the mud, moving towards the edge where Mitchell is standing.
I'm gonna slash it.
All right, you attack him. Roll your attack, sir. It is a surprise attack, so you do get a +2.
3.
Plus your attack, which is 15 total. But you get an extra +2 due to surprise bonus, and you get it. Leaping out of the shadows and forming yourself again in your 3-dimensional shape. Vroom, you slash down into the shallow water, connecting with the creature underneath you, which immediately lurches out, and you can tell is a weregator. Engage the crazy banjo music of the battle. The gator roars. You can notice, Mark, because you have a perception, that this particular gator has 3 gold teeth and a nose ring, and is trying to get
tasteless gator.
and is trying to get to Johnny, who is now on the gator's back as it is slashing around.
I'm gonna run over and help him as soon as I can.
We gotta roll your damage, sir.
2.
You got 2 plus 6, which is 8, and then you pick one of your magic additions to your attacks.
Dancing fire.
You do dancing fire. As you strike down into the gator's flesh, you activate your fire as black flames leap off of your body onto your sword and into its body. He takes an extra 3 fire damage, and he grants combat advantage until the end of your next turn. You fuck that gator up. The gator is now on fire.
Cool.
The gator is making all sorts of horrible noises as it's fighting. And now you all have to roll for initiative. Our turn order is gonna be the lumbering creature in the distance, followed by Mark, followed by Johnny, followed by Mitchell, followed by the gator creature underneath Johnny. All right, engage the battle. Off in the distance, soon as you stab that gator and it leaped out of the water, Mitchell, you can see the lumbering creature notice this and begin charging towards you guys. And it is a much, much larger weregator. And you can tell as it approaches that it apparently has some sort of strange, strangly red hairs coming off of its head, 1 blind eye, and a large gash across its stomach. That's how you will be identifying them, as gashy hair and gold teeth. Gashy hair comes charging straight at you, Mitchell.
Okay.
As it swings open its giant jaws and tries to bring them down on your body.
All right.
It misses when it tries to clamp its jaws on you. You dodge out of the way with expertise. After it misses, you see its eye with sight start glowing a bright green as it makes a secondary bite attack at you using Howling Frenzy. It swings on the jaws and it breaks your AC. You feel the jaws close around you as it snaps at your waist.
Fuck.
As it picks you up into the air to start trying to swing you around. This is bad. You're staring at a uvula.
I'm gonna punch that.
And you and you take 11 damage and are grabbed.
You know, I just Googled uvula to find out what it is, but I got a picture of a really nice coastline, so I don't know. That's about it.
And with that, it is now Mark's turn. Mark, one of your friends is on the back of this giant gator creature, currently riding him like a rodeo bull. The other one is in the mouth of a much larger gator creature.
Right, I'm headed for the much larger gator creature. Well, I'd like to do a movement action to immediately close the distance between me and the larger one. I believe
You are now up next to the big ugly gator creature.
Excelente. I'd like to do an attack, standard action called Frozen Movement now.
Ooh.
Right, here we go. Which is an attack which, if I'm successful, I believe immobilizes the creature until the end of my next turn.
All right, roll that attack.
Here we go. I got a 15, it's a +5, so 20.
As you strike out, focusing your energies in order to make sure that you can identify the exact pinpoint you need to hit inside this creature's body. Boom, 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 boom. You notice that, the pressure points inside of it match up pretty decently well with a humanoid of any description. So you find its nerves, and when you strike, the creature seizes up and is now immobilized. Roll your damage, sir.
All right. Hang about.
You can see frost forming across its scales.
2d6 plus dex, right? Hang about. So I rolled 4 and a 2. That's too bad.
So that's 6
plus 4 10
is
then.
10. You did 10 damage. You can see that the creature is very much not happy with what you have done. And its jaw has begun to lock up because it is immobilized. All right, and you have anything else?
I hope I've held there. I'm not hurt the situation.
Well, I guess we'll find out in a moment, won't we? All right, then now it is Johnny's turn.
I'm gonna take one of my weird green potions and I'm gonna shove it down its throat.
I like that.
All right, you reach into your pack. First, you have to roll athletics to hang on because it's bucking and trying to get you off of it.
1.
While you attempt to hang on, the creature slings its head down and then back up extremely hard, throwing you off of it. Thankfully, your sword does not stay stuck in it as you get flung. However, you did roll a nat 1. So hilarious outcomes. You land in the water, and when you come back up, there's a frog on top of your head. But it's still your turn, so you still have your standard action and your minor.
I'm going to try to throw the potion into the thing's mouth.
That's smart, because after you were bucked off, it turns around and is now lumbering towards you in the water with its mouth hanging wide open. Roll a basic ranged.
15.
Breaks the reflex. You throw one of your green potions from your bag. You see it land in the back of the mouth of the gator creature and swallows the bottle whole. It looks at you and goes, "What the hell did you just do to me?"
I wish you could see the confused expression on my face right now.
The gator has talked, and it's asked you what the hell you just did to it.
I'm going to say I have no idea. I guess we're going to find out.
Roll a dice, Mitchell.
Roll a dice?
Roll a d20.
A D20. Okay. I was saying, like, I'll pick the dice. 17.
The gator does not appear to be affected yet. However, when you tell him that you don't know what you did to it, it looks very unhappy and prepares to curse you out. But right before it does that, it locks up and goes, "Do you have any plans to do any songs in the future that are harder to translate?"
Seamless.
Say, yeah, of course. Hold on. Of course I would try. I mean, if enough people request something, I'm going to do it.
Really?
Regardless of how hard it is to translate.
That applies to
like
anything.
the earlier question about the final battle from Ocarina of Time. That's
Yeah.
going to be kind of hard to translate because it's so simple, really.
But give them what they want, huh?
Yeah.
Like that's going to be your
course.
approach, just
Yeah.
to everything.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
A complicated song doesn't really mean much to me. It's not about it being complicated. It's about it being sounding cool.
Sounding cool, number one priority, I see.
Yep.
That being the case, Johnny, it is now your turn over as the gator snaps himself back into sense. He's like, what the hell did you do to me?
Gator, could I get your name, please?
What's your name, Gator?
Gator looks at you like, what? Well, that's a stupid question. My name's Blairbot.
Oh. Okay. Time to die.
Thank you for your question, Blairbot. And thank you for playing, everybody. We will see you next time on Misadventurous.